My mum and brother have made my life hell. I don't know what to do. Ever since I can remember, my mum and brother have made my life hell. They're constantly having digs at me, being bitchy, sly, and being very passive-aggressive, and also quite insulting to me. Because of them, and also an abusive relationship, I suffer from severe depression and anxiety, which I'm on medication for, and to be honest, I don't want to know them anymore. I'm a full-grown adult. Whatever I do for them, it's always wrong. Both of them try to emotionally manipulate me and also use me for their own gain. I go to visit and I am met with a list of jobs, babysitting duty while they go out or do their own thing, as well as insults and jibes constantly. I lost my dad a while ago, and he was the only one who stuck up for me and never did any of this. And honestly, I miss him more than anything in the world. Things got worse while my dad was sick. I helped my mum take care of him 24/7 for weeks at a time before I would go home to rest, then return a week later, all while having 4 hours of extremely disturbed sleep. My mum and brother would take a lot of their frustrations out on me, and when I stood up for myself or my own family, things would get worse. Nothing physically, just always verbal. At one point it got so bad I upped and left the following morning. Now, since my dad's death, I've visited twice in the last year. I barely message them, and when I do, I'm always met with a thumbs up emoji halfway through a conversation or a simple, "Oh, okay." How do I respond to that? It usually occurs when I say something they don't like, such as I'm working and can't come down. I instantly get guilt-tripped by them. The last time I went down, the first thing my mum said was, "Now you have that new promotion at work, when are you going to lose weight?" Followed my digs and insulting jests from her and my brother, keeping in mind my brother is twice my size and my mum is not a small lady either. The moment I stepped foot into the house, I had to help clean. I had to babysit my niece while my brother played his Xbox. He's older than me, and at 32 years old still lives with his mother with his daughter, who he never looks after and leaves it to my mum or me when I'm around. I had to help with her homework, do arts and crafts with her, feed her and put her to bed, all while having both mum and brother dig at me. Not long after I'd won a raffle at my friend's body shop store and got 130 worth of makeup and beauty products. I'd taken a picture of me with my makeup on because for the first time in a long time I felt great. I felt beautiful. A few days later, my mum FaceTimed me, and while we chatted I sent her the picture to be met with, "Very good, when are you losing weight?" That instantly made me regret everything I'd done. On Mother's Day, I sent my mum a card, which arrived late due to the postal service, but I couldn't get her a present. I explained it to her because I didn't have enough money, but I wished her a happy Mother's Day and said I'd get the present to her as soon as I could. She told me to forget it, then made a point of tagging me on FB about getting her hair done, etc., etc. The gift she wanted was money to get her hair done. She also tagged me in a post with my Mother's Day card to her saying better late than never, all while praising my brother up and down the mountains on FB. Whenever the thought of going down there or speaking to either one of them fills me with dread and anxiety, I hate it because I know what's to come. Yesterday was my brother's birthday. I didn't send him a card nor wish him happy birthday. Last night my mum sent me a message asking if I was alive. I read it and did not reply. This morning she sent, "Still not alive." I haven't opened the message, but I read the preview. I know it's about not wishing my brother happy birthday or sending him a card or present. To be all honest, I don't want to. He never bothers for mine, so why should I bother about his now? I have no idea what to do with this situation, as my mum and brother are extremely dramatic and over the top. Anyone recommend anything for me to do? Please. Update. My mum was messaging me about my brother's birthday. I got another message this morning asking if I was still alive, to which I replied that I've been busy working. My mum then asks if I've forgotten my brother's birthday, and again I replied, "No, I've been really busy at work," which is true, so I'm not lying. The response I received was, "Okay, you missed it, no probs," so I did what she does to me and sent her a thumbs up emoji. Weird movie in class. I don't remember exactly what grade I was in, but I'm pretty sure it was second or third. I know I was in a grade school that only went to the 5th grade. One day we all show up and for class and there's some off. Our normal teacher is there, but she doesn't have a lesson plan. She asks us to write letters to ourselves and then shows us how to address the envelopes to ourselves. We're all kids, so of course we just do what she asks. I have ADHD, so of course I screw mine up. While the other kids are busy writing away, I notice the teacher leaves the room. I hear something in the hallway, and the teacher returns with the TV on the rolling stand. You know the one. The tall metal cart with shelves with the TV of reality avoidance on top. The teacher tells us it's a Paddington Bear show, which at the time I loved. It was a poorly made show about a polite teddy bear wearing a little red hat. The teacher puts in the tape and hits play and walks over near the door and turns the lights off. The movie starts, but instead of a fancy little teddy bear going about a lazy day, it's a small town of people walking to a gravel lot adjacent to a hardware store. They all walk there in silence. Occasionally a couple people will lock eyes and their expressions will be blank. They all circle up and one person begins to walk around the circle with a hat upside down full of something. I think it was rocks, but it could have been something else. It's clear they're not supposed to look at what they get. A few people do, but their reactions are difficult to decipher. After they've all taken something from the hat, the person in the middle reaches in and pulls out what I remember to be a black rock. Could have been something else. Everyone else turns their hands over and exposes what they have. One person's object is a different color than everyone else's. That person begins to scream and everyone else takes their rocks and throws them at the person who had the unique rock. They run up on the person and start hitting and kicking. The teacher runs up, hits the stop button, grabs the TV stand and rushes off with it out into the hallway. She comes back and turns the lights on and says, "Oops, wrong movie." Then tells us to finish our letters to ourselves. I was pretty upset I didn't get to finish watching the movie or get to see Paddington Bear frolicking around at the post office. Being a preteen ADHD kid with no meds, it's very annoying to not be able to finish a movie once I've started it. Anyway, that's the story. I think it happened. Seems too weird for a child to dream up and splice into reality. I never really thought about it before, but now I'm very curious why that movie would be in a grade school. How could it get mixed up with a child's show? Why did the teacher let it go for so long? The reason my friend refused to ever sleep at my house again. I had a childhood best friend that would sleep over at my house frequently. Each morning, she would tell me that little weird things would happen throughout the night. Sometimes she heard the floor creak, or sometimes she would swear a cabinet or dresser would suddenly open. I never thought too much of it and always figured she was just paranoid being away from home. One night we decided to sleep in the living room and build a fort. For a visual, from the living room you can see the front door, which is on the second floor of the house. There are outdoor stairs that lead from the front door down into the front yard. Off to the side of the living room there is a door that leads to a flight of indoor stairs that leads down into the basement. We went to bed around 11 p.m. or so. According to my friend, at around 2 a.m., she heard someone, or something, run up the outdoor stairs to the front door, knock and run down. Several minutes later, she had someone run up the indoor stairs, knock and run back down. This repeated every few minutes, and it got progressively faster. The time between running up the outdoor stairs to running up the indoor stairs got shorter, within just a few seconds of each other. It is physically impossible for someone to run up both flights of stairs, especially considering there is no outside access to the indoor stairs from the basement. She was hysterically crying and shook me to wake me up. When she did, it stopped. She begged me to go open the basement door to check, so I did. When I opened the door, I saw nothing but blackness. However, I felt the coldest rush of air I have ever felt to this day. My entire body was covered in goosebumps. I immediately felt uneasy and slammed the door shut. I then walked to the front door to see if someone was outside. Again, nothing but blackness. Whenever I think about this story, my eyes fill up with tears and I get this uncanny feeling throughout my body.